Pecha Kucha 121, The Now of Brown, and Legends of the Dark Knight. So these two comics are a pretty stark contrast to each other. One's like an independently created trade paperback that's ostensibly about normal people, and the other one's just a series of Batman stories that probably didn't happen but could have. Uh, and that Legend of the Dark Knight logo, I wouldn't have the balls to do that, but that's neither here nor there. Because I'm doing logo design these days, I'm paying more attention to these things, but like everybody else, I don't care. It's more of a casual observation. All in all, it's an interesting series of stories. I wouldn't have actually taken it out of the library if I didn't see this page where Bruce Wayne seems to be taking off his cowl directly in front of the Joker, who then calls him Bruce. And I'm like, I need I need this explained contextually. It's a very clever explanation that's also very silly. It reminds me of like a 1960s episode. If you want to know what happened, you'll just have to read it yourself. There's another story where Batman's on the JLA satellite in space fighting this weird ass robot dude, and Batman just outsmarts him on every single page. It's the archetypal story of because I'm Batman, and it's juxtaposed with a story where Bruce Wayne is a dumbass with poor grammar who gets taught a very silly lesson by Alfred. So a lot of these stories don't just change in art style. There's a lot of conceit to them, but it's entertaining enough because you can't go wrong with Batman. So The Now of Brown is an independently created, very thick graphic novel by Dillon, not Steve Dillon, someone called Gwyn Dillon or Gwen Dillon. I forget. I should have checked. Whoopsie diddles. But it's ostensibly about Now, Nao, the titular character, and how she deals with interpersonal relationships in her life. The artwork is gorgeous. It's like, I guess it's watercolor with a little bit of ink. It seems like it's kind of normal, but the characters, like this washing machine guy who knows Latin and quotes all the famous literary geniuses you've ever heard of. In some ways, it's more silly than Batman. You need to suspend your disbelief just as much. It's like they're like CSI characters. They know too much about everything. There is also a parallel story with a different art style running through the graphic novel, which is excellently illustrated, and there are levels of, well, I don't want to say pretension, but this graphic novel works on a lot of intellectual levels, and it's up to you how many you want to dig deep on. I recommend it. I just can't really judge it. So this is a new logo from my client who was doing this the Kanique thing. He's gone through a lot of ideas, and he sent this, and he just said, "Yeah, just do this in black, and we'll be good." So I did it in black. There's a lot of bits that weren't quite even, so in trying to render them, oh wow, that image is actually wrong as well. It's irrelevant because he's already gone off the idea. But it's supposed to be a K. Do you see a K? Because I see an F. If you tell me it's a K, I can see the K. And these are ones where I was told to like move the two white bits closer together. And it does help the image read more as a K, but only if you've been told it's a K. That's my take on it. And I think black is a bit strong. It does look a lot better in different colors, but like I said, the client already went off it. So he found this font and he just said, yeah, just put it in a border with a bit of a paintbrush effect thing going on. So I just knocked out a few simple things here, and he's not got back to me, which is fine because I got another logo job come through at the same time. So which pays a third as much, right? For some reason, I was looking at the top 10 most famous Dracula portrayals in film, and this one looked very intriguing. Basically, it's Bram Stoker's Dracula meets Nosferatu, because Dracula basically he's this weird, bald, creepy dude from like Nosferatu. And it's German, and the performances are great. The resolution of the video, however, I might be blind now. That's the name of the film, Nosferatu Phantom der Nacht, 1979. It was bad on my eyes, but very entertaining. a very interesting portrayal of Dracula. And then I googled Dracula and found that Bram Stoker's Dracula has a sequel. I have read Bram Stoker's Dracula, but the sequel, written by one of his descendants, is such an insane myriad of terrible cliches. As I read the synopsis on Wikipedia, I guffawed and cringed. It was I should have made it a drinking game. I did another Colt Cougar Draws this week. It was quite short, could have been longer, but I did apply colour. You know, I'm still trying to reconcile what I do with the time I do it in, because I'm just trying to stay out of Manga Studio, bro. I don't want to edit videos. Logo design is enough of a headache. I got some books in the mail, Bern Hogarth and Andrew Loomis. This is the good stuff. There's a couple more. But basically, when I get through these books, maybe I'll look a little less haphazard in how I create my figures. We'll see. The books are big, and my time is somewhat limited. Because that other job I mentioned is through 5 Squid. And correspondence between me and the client is a little bit scattershot. The job's going pretty well. I'm still only getting a $5. It's live as I speak. I'll talk about it next week. Hopefully it'll be finished by then. So Sad Clown of the Week is a toss-up between me actually doing work on 5 Squid. I probably should have actually closed the account, to be honest, and that Dracula sequel. Just to give you a taste of how bad it is, it makes Dracula the sympathetic hero after bringing him back from his obvious death in the previous book. It makes Van Helsing, there's a plot twist where he becomes the bad guy. What else is in there? There are love children. It's just it doesn't come recommended. I'm not saying it's a bad book. I'm just saying it is fan fiction. Whatever the surname of the person who's been associated with the book, because it's ghostwritten as well by someone else. It's a mess. I'm a mess. Sad clowns all round. So that brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 121, and I will see you next time.